yeah, if you think you're going to do it in your own strength, then you know what? Yeah, you can do it.
COVID, it's been helping people move their businesses from offline or brick and mortar to online.
Systems are more important than skills as an entrepreneur today.
It's totally okay to reinvent yourself multiple times, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. If you're a coach, speaker, or industry expert, you're in the right place for sales and marketing wisdom and insight to grow your coaching business. Now, here's your host, Income Acceleration Mentor, Wendy Y. Bailey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show. I'm delighted to introduce you to our guest for this episode, Lisa Santiago McNeill. You met her husband in a previous episode, Brian Keith McNeill, and you know them together as the Empowerment Duo. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we get into, but let me tell you a little bit about Lisa. Lisa is the coach's coach, and her expression, I love it, says that she coaches coaches so they can go from impact to income and replace their part-time income, living lives that they truly deserve. Welcome, Lisa.
Welcome, Wendy Y. Diva. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love your husband. We've been connected for the last several years. And I know when you guys got married. And so when I was talking to him about being on the show, I was like, Lisa's got to be on the show too. So I'm delighted to have you here.
Likewise. Thank you so much, Wendy Y, for having me on as well.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I talked in your introduction about you being part of the Empowerment Duo. I know the other part is Brian. So tell me for you how that actually came about and how it started working as this duo project that you guys did together.
Absolutely. Well, the entire duo itself, the Empowerment Duo, was pulled together by God. He did it himself. I want to say 3 years before we even met, my husband and I were operating in individual ministries with very similar names. His organization that he was helping men and teenage men build and grow their esteem, have discussions, it was called Male Empowerment Networks. That was started in October of 2013. And at the very same time,
I remember that.
Yep. At the very same time, in the very same month of the very same year, Women's Empowerment Networks was created as an organization that helped women to build and grow their esteem and to support one another in ways to just show the world that women can help one another be lifted up and encouraged. And that was before we ever met. So when we got together, he moved to the city that I was in. This is actually in two different cities as well. When we finally got together in 2015, it was just, there would be no other way than for us to both have male empowerment and women empowerment networks operating in the cities that we were in. We were continuing in that work, but it also aligned in our businesses. And we started a 15-minute Facebook podcast. 15 minutes every morning, Monday through Friday, husband and wife, how we start our day. We both working together. He was in sales. He's a sales coach, as many of you know. And at that time, I was a publisher and a life coach at that time, a publisher and a life coach. So sort of giving tips, letting people get to know us. And we didn't know where it was going to go. We didn't know what it was going to be. But, you know, he's
and an hour and a half later.
An hour and a half. No, we're still only up to 60 minutes. We've had people that have been trying to get us to go further, but 60 minutes a day, Monday through Friday, is our limit of empowerment.
And I've been on your show and I've seen your show. You guys are high energy in the morning too. I'm like, wow.
Yes. Well, that's how we start our day every day. We have our bedroom board meeting at 7 a.m. You know, where we're fleshing out what's going to happen for the day, who's working on what, whether or not we have any aligned projects, because though we work together, we also work independently. And then we jump on the show and share with our fantastic audience they are who makes us, the Empowerment Circle and the Empowerment Network. We're just excited to have all of those supporters. And we just have personal conversation, business information, and spiritual inspiration with a little bit of shenanigans thrown in.
Yeah, yeah. The thing that I love about your show, and I want to talk about your work specifically in just a second, but the thing that I love about your show is your viewers are loyal. So when they pop on, you're like, hey, so-and-so, good to see you. What's happening with such and such? It really feels like family.
Mm-hmm. It is family. It has begun to be more and more family, meaning that they're not only there to see us, they're there to see each other. Mm-hmm. So our network actually begins to say, okay, such and such is not here. We need to find them. And they call them on the show and bring them out. And so it's really cool.
Looking out for each other, huh?
Absolutely. We check up on each other. We do business together. We support one another. We pray for each other. It really is a network, an empowering network to bring about just the smiles that have become lacking in some of the social distancing. Mm-hmm. Some of the intimacy has gone away, and we get to bring it back. We connect with our audience, although it's virtually. We try to make it as intimate as we possibly can.
That's great. That's great. So in my introduction, I called you the coach's coach. Tell us about why you're the coach's coach and who you actually serve.
Absolutely. So I work with heart-centered coaches who have learned something through their life's challenges and overcome it. And now their desire is to reach back and help someone else to accomplish what they've learned over that experience. A lot of times, many of them become very, very good at what they're doing and help everybody, but they're not making the money that they deserve to make. Mm-hmm. Wendy, why? You gotta understand that if your gifts are intended to make room for you, and prosperity is your birthright, then you must learn how to do both. And so that's my job. My job is to help you to not just tap into the gift and the anointing that you've earned as a result of the trial that you may have gone through, but also to create the systems that allow you to matriculate that into the income that can sustain you and leave a legacy to your children's children.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked before we started the recording, and we are aligned in a lot of ways. Yeah. And, you know, I was that person who needed that a few years ago.
Me too.
That's
why we do what we do.
Yeah, we've been there, done that. We got the T-shirts and everything to show for it. Mm-hmm. And now it's time to give back. And you can't give back to when you have an empty cup. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really what you're talking about. There are a lot of women in the marketplace, and let's just say women, a lot of women in the marketplace who are poor, who are poverty. You know, they have a mindset of poverty and lack. And so a lot of what we have to do is get them into a different space around what's possible. And I love that you do it with systems as well. Brian and I talked a lot about systems too, because the reality is you can't go to the bank with systems. I mean, with skills.
Without systems. You can't go to the bank with your philanthropic efforts. You cannot take them to the bank. They feel good. I know they feel good. It feels good to be there for someone when you know that you wish someone had been there for you. It feels wonderfully good. But when you operate in abundance and you operate in reciprocity, I mean, value for value, then that gives you what we've been promised, where if we're supposed to, if we receive a blessing that we don't have room to receive, it's because we're not intended to receive it all.
Yeah.
Then you can give out of that saucer that's holding the cup has overflowed from, and you can begin to make the changes and impacts in the communities that are not yet ready to invest in themselves. You can move them a little bit up until they understand the importance of self-investment as well.
Yeah. And sometimes, and I think about where I was about, what did I say, about 10, I said 7 or 8, but I think it's been longer than that, like maybe 10 or 11 years ago. what I found myself doing was I was like, oh, I feel like I've arrived. And notice how I said that. I feel like I've arrived. And because I've arrived, I can start giving back. And I became a board member for this nonprofit organization. And as I continued to be on the board, I realized how empty my cup was. Mm-hmm. So what do you say? And so I had to bow out of it and, refocus on building my business and growing my profits. So Absolutely. What do you say to the woman who's out there like I was about, again, 10 or 11 years ago, who wants to give back, which many of us do. Many of us see it as a ministry, but the reality is we don't have the systems, we don't have the income in place to really give in that way. Our cup is empty. What do you say to her?
Well, the revolution must be financed. That as cold-blooded as that sometimes sounds,
it's
real. Very true.
Yeah, that's real.
And as well-liked as you may be in your community, as well-loved as you may be, the moment that you go to the power company and try to turn that in to pay a bill, you'll find out that those lights are going to go off. Yeah. The hardest thing for me was realizing that I had to put my oxygen mask on first.
Flight safety instructions.
Oh my goodness. I used to hate to get on an airplane because I thought those stewardesses were promoting selfish behavior. They were just so selfish. If this elderly person is sitting beside me and they can't get their mask on, why would I withhold from them the couple of seconds to put their mask on?
Did you really feel that way, Lisa?
Yes. Well, I was a mother of 10. I raised 10 children. So you feed your children before you eat. You clothe them before you eat. I had overlearned some principles that my great-great-grandmother taught me, learned them to the point that I had disdain for people, which would include myself if I didn't underlearn it, if I didn't relearn it, right? For people who didn't put their children first, their neighbors first, all of these things, I had disdain for that because that was selfish and that was what I was taught. But when I realized, and it came at a tremendous cost because God had to hit me over the head with some stuff.
Sometimes he has to do that or you won't listen.
He hit me over the head with loss of everything. Every car went back, every house was foreclosed, 2 houses foreclosed on, 2 cars repossessed, my 12 office building taken back, everything, so that he could say, when you respect it, you can keep it.
All right now. That's a word, girl. That's a word.
Honey.
Yeah.
It was over. I had to see in all of my desire to help a community of entrepreneurs, because that's always been where my heart is, women entrepreneurs, because I feel like if women could only make their own money, they could make decisions that they would not be oppressed by, right? So for me, if you can make your own money, then you can make decisions for yourself and your family, your children, and you don't have to stay in a marriage that's unhealthy. You don't have to stay at a job where your boss is doing something to you that's inappropriate. You have choices when you have money. So I wanted to help everybody to make money while not making any money.
Yeah. I really believe in to your point and to everything we're saying in this conversation, I really believe that you can't give back fully until your cup is overflowing. Absolutely. Whatever that means. It could be money, but it could also be like spiritual abundance.
It can be knowledge, it can be spirit, Exactly. It can be all of those things. But if you're giving out of lack, you can't reap that. You can't reap it because it's already gone by the time you get rid of it.
Right. Yeah, Lisa, this is really good stuff. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get into our profitable wisdom segment. Okay?
Absolutely.
Are you ready to elevate your sales game so you can add some zeros to your bottom line? Backed by popular demand is Supersize Your Selling, the 7-day sales challenge for coaches, speakers, industry experts, and marketplace influencers. Get ready to grow confident in your selling. Practice selling with grace and ease. Discover how to convert more ideal clients. Shatter your sales fears. overcome objections effortlessly. Activate income acceleration in your business. This activation challenge features daily bursts of content, easy to complete assignments, sales coaching with none other than yours truly, Wendy Y, downloadable sales script, ongoing accountability and support. It's because it is designed to help you win. Sign up now at www.supersizeyourselling.com. That's www.supersizeyourselling.com, and we'll see you there.
Hi, I'm Simon T. Bailey, and you are tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Listen, it's an amazing show. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel so you know when the next episode is coming your way.
So hi, I'm Rodney Dow, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Michelle PW, and you've tuned into Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, and review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode is live.
Okay, welcome back. We are talking with Lisa Santiago McNeill. She is the coach's coach, and she focuses on helping women make impact and income. I love that. We had a really delightful conversation in the first segment, and now it's time for our Profitable Wisdom segment. You ready, Lisa?
Absolutely. Hit me, Wendy. Why?
Okay, let's go. Who has had the greatest influence on you in your life?
Ooh, who has had the greatest influence on me in my life? Well, I've had several tremendous mentors, whether de facto or in direct juxtaposition to growth and training. I have to say that I have a top three.
Okay.
I have a top three. My mother had a tremendous impact in me as I realized the giftings that she had passed on to me, that once I realized and accepted them, they really, really enhanced and improved who I showed up as. But just like many daughters, I kicked against the prick for years.
Of course. They don't know what they're talking about. They can't tell me nothing. They don't
No.
me.
No, not at all. The second would be my pastor Dunlap, my previous pastor. He accepted me with all of my quirks and still respected my faith. Because I like Jesus, I love God, and I love fairies and rocks. So they all go together for me.
I hear you. It's all part of the same picture.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's not always accepted.
Yeah.
And then the third most influential character or person in my life has been my husband. It was with my husband's tutelage, albeit begrudged.
Yeah. Kicking and screaming the whole way, huh? Kicking
Say
and
again?
screaming the whole way, huh?
I wasn't. He was, interestingly enough. He did.
Like, no, you're going to teach me this. You're going to tell me this. And he was like,
yeah.
well, I got to teach you that. Yeah.
Yes, that was exactly right.
Yeah.
But his sales coaching is what really, really evolved me into being able to not just teach women how to identify their gifts and systematize them so that they could duplicate them over and over again, but that I could also help them to make money.
Yeah.
I could also help them to make money. And that those two things, impact and money together, it's so powerful.
Yeah, it really
and
is.
So I am so grateful to those three entities for that.
Yeah, and I love that each of them had a different type of influence on you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Your husband was about training, education, and empowerment, to use your phrase. Your pastor was about acceptance and, sort of appreciating your spiritual path.
Absolutely.
Right? And then your mom was like, let me set the example for you. And let me remind you that you have your own gifts as well. I just love those three because they're all so different, you know?
They are.
So what's the best business advice you've ever received?
The best business advice that I have ever received came from one of my mentors, Miss Nancy White, and that is to ask for help more often and accept help more often. Period, point blank.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it they're saying these days? Period.
That's right.
Period.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Absolutely.
that's sort of to use Brian's word, that's a fallacy for women, because we think that we're strong enough to handle whatever. And the reality is our strength really comes from our vulnerability. So being able to ask for help and accept the help is a strength.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good.
Absolutely. Our strength is made perfect in weakness.
Right. Right.
Absolutely.
What's the largest single sale you've had in your business? What were the circumstances and what was the amount?
The largest single sale. They're comparable because right now I'm on a new bubble. So I kind of call 17,000 and 20,000 very similar because they were right there. 17,000 was a coaching program from beginning to end, one-on-one, and 20,000 was a speaking engagement.
Nice, nice. And what did you do to celebrate?
That's a challenge. Did my husband make you ask that question?
I asked that question of everyone.
I'm not a celebrator, although that is one thing that I make sure that all of my clients do. I tell them, you got to celebrate. I'm going to tell you, and you're going to probably laugh.
So what you doing?
Right, exactly. So I'm going to tell you.
Telling people that, and you're saying, do what I say, not what I do?
Yes. Hush up now. Hush.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Even though you're not good at celebrating, if you did not celebrate that 17 and that 20,000, I give you permission to do it even now.
Well, I did. I forced myself because I can't be hypocritical. I cannot be hypocritical. So I realized a couple of things. I realized that I like experiences more than I like things.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, because I don't need a lot of stuff. And so that was why it was difficult to celebrate, because I was on to the next one, right? But I planned a couple of trips, and I took those trips, with my husband. And then the other way that I do smaller celebrations are with my fancy glasses. I buy myself a new pair of glasses.
Yeah, we were talking before we jumped on the recording, and we both collect them. And you're actually a brand ambassador for one of the companies that I use as well.
Yes.
So yeah, a lot of women collect shoes.
I did.
Or purses. Or
I did.
Yeah, like I did all of that. Now it's glasses, huh?
Now it's glasses. I wonder if that's indicative of something a little more telling.
I think it's two things. I think it is, we realize that sometimes those shoes hurt, so we don't need to put all of our money in that. That's it for me anyway. And then the second thing is, as our age goes up in number, these become really important.
They do. And why not make them an accessory and an adornment, Yeah.
So, why not do what we can?
Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly. And you might see my shirt here. So this is a branded piece here with you see little shiny stuff? I do. So I actually did this. So one of my hobbies is buying materials and stones. And so that is another way that I reward myself, with like another piece for my tool. Yeah, some more stones or something like that. Yes. So very cool. I'm easy. I'm easy.
Yeah, I love it, because a lot of people don't celebrate. So I'm glad to hear you, even though you say you don't really celebrate, you have ways to acknowledge what just happened.
You have to, because what you reward gets duplicated. The same way when I express gratefulness to God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, it puts me in a position where more comes back. When you take things for granted, when you just move to the next and to the next to the next, it's like, did you really appreciate it? Do you value it? And I value all of it.
You got to pause and give gratitude. You're right.
Absolutely.
So we all have times in our businesses when we feel like giving up. what has helped you move through that to continue to stay the course in your business? And remind me again, you've been in your business how long?
So I've been officially full-time in my business for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been working or operating in this particular venue as a entrepreneurial coach, a coach's coach, for 20 years. And even as we talk about that, it's actually been longer than that.
Yeah.
I can actually say that I remember the first job I had as a marketing exec
Mm-hmm.
was when I was like 5 or 6, because
okay. I don't usually have people starting quite that early.
It was funny. It was just because I've always been an encourager. And so as an encourager, marketing and encouragement kind of go hand in hand.
They do.
And so there was a young lady that had a lemonade stand outside of our building, and she was packing it up, and she was crying, and she was going to quit. And I saw her out there, and I said, "Can I have some lemonade?" And she says, "Nope, it's closed. I'm not selling it. I'm going home." And I said, "No, you can't go home." This is fantastic.
I love it. I need your lemonade desperately. Yeah.
And everybody needs your lemonade. "Excuse me, sir, don't you need some of this delicious lemonade?" And so
that's how you do it, girl. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Drama from the beginning.
Right. Right. But you know what? The spirit of that, when you talk about it being drama, is being passionate.
Absolutely.
Very passionate about helping others in a big way. And the thing that I love is that at 5 or 6, you knew what needed to happen for her to reopen her lemonade stand. You knew how to market her at 5 or 6.
Yes.
That's big.
Amen. That's why you got to give God credit for stuff, because you don't always know what, why, or how, you know, anything is happening in your life. Because I certainly didn't have a plan at that time.
Yeah, of course.
I just didn't want to see her cry, and I didn't want to see her quit.
Yeah, I love it. That's a great story. A great story. Well, what would you consider your greatest personal accomplishment outside of your business?
Outside of my business is my children. My children. I have one biological son, Brandon, but I raised 10 children. God just kept bringing them into my life, and I didn't know where I was going to put them. And we can make a little corner over there and we'll figure it out. And just being able to give back to them, honor their parents. You know, so often when children end up a bit displaced for whatever reason in whatever season, there can be challenges with the reflection or representation of where they came from. There could be challenges in that. So I felt that I did as best a job as anyone in making sure that even though I was given the honor of standing in the gap for their parent, I was still honoring that parent with respect, regardless of what their condition was, regardless of what the situation was. And I think that was my biggest accomplishment.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Lisa, it's been delightful talking with you. We're going to take another break. And when we come back, I'd love for you to share your parting thought.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Have you heard about the new Black Business Directory? Welcome to Click Urban. Here, you can find hundreds of businesses owned by us. Whatever business professional you're looking for, they're right here. And the best part is, membership is absolutely free. Just go to www.theclickurban.com, sign up for a free account, create your free listing, and boom, you're done. Begin surfing the largest Black business directory online and be seen by hundreds of customers and clients all in one place. Get exposure on all of the major search engines, including Google. Our innovative platform includes search engine optimization that will make your listing easy to find. This is the hottest new business directory created for us, by us. Join today. Go to www.theclickurban.com.
Hey, I am Lisa Santiago McNeill, and you are tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversations show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Make sure that you like, comment, review, and subscribe so that you're notified when the next episode goes live. See you later.
Hi, my name is Ann Betts, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Please comment, like, review, and subscribe now so you know when the next episode is live.
Hi, I'm Barbara J. Faison, your mindfulness and meditation ambassador, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to like, comment, review, and subscribe so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
So welcome back. We've been talking with the coach's coach, Lisa Santiago McNeill, and the conversation has been just delightful, Lisa.
Thank you, Wendy Y. You've been very hospitable.
Good. So we've talked about a lot, and you shared a lot of wisdom throughout our conversation. If there's one nugget that you want to be sure the audience walks away with, what would that be?
Absolutely. I wish that the audience would just walk with me for a moment and think back in their minds about that moment in their lives that everything was dark. That moment that they didn't possibly think that they could make it through, overcome, or even see another day. They actually probably thought that death would be a blessing. And then I want them to realize that that moment is behind them. And they can accomplish anything that they put their minds to. I am Lisa Santiago McNeill. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. What a wonderful parting thought. I got to tell you, you took us on a journey in just a couple of seconds. I love it.
My pleasure.
So I know you want to share a special gift with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that gift, Lisa?
Absolutely. So the gift is it is a special ebook that I wrote for so many of my amazing clients who have a story to tell but couldn't figure out how to structure it and put it together so that not only would it be interesting, but that it would make money. And I am giving it to your audience. It's called Write a Book That Sells in 7 Simple Steps. And they can just opt in and download that ebook, and they can get started on creating their legacy.
Yeah, awesome. Lisa, thanks again for being here. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you.
Thank you so much, Wendy Y.
All right. We'll see you next time for another episode of the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show. Be sure to join the after show, and Lisa is over there waiting to connect with you at profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Thanks so much for tuning into Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to join us at the after party at www.profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time for more sales and marketing wisdom and insight from Wendy Y. and her amazing guests. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when new episodes are posted.